One.
Who's doing the intro?
I am.
Okay. Are you ready?
3, 2, 1. Hello. Hello. Welcome to the podcast. My name is Space Boy. Or Space Ace, whatever the fuck you want to say.
Spicy
I'm here
boy.
with I'm here with my podcast
My
host.
spacey poo.
Sorry.
My spacey poo.
Okay, buddy. Okay, buddy. Where do we calm down?
How about this? I just come on you.
Well, speaking of calm, let's talk about fucking superheroes.
Well then, that escalated a lot quicker than I thought it was going to. By the way, quick disclaimer: if you hear background noise that sounds like a machine having an aneurysm or an asthma attack, that is my 3D printer. I'm finishing off a gun. Well,
I'm
I'm
half
doing
asleep,
another quarter
so
of it.
if I say something very mean or racially motivated or something very homophobic, I'm very ippy. So yeah,
And he's Mexican, and I don't know if he wants to say it, so I won't say it. But yeah,
Mexican ace, and
okay.
I like my women how I like my guys.
You know, technically, the colors of this channel and podcast are the bisexual colors. I just realized that while like looking at the OBS.
Who says I'm bisexual, motherfucker? I just like my women with dicks between them.
Bitch, I'm bisexual. Fuck you.
I gotta bleep that out now.
No, I don't give a
No.
fuck. No one I know actually watches it apart from my older brother, and I've already explained it to him. And every other person
Oh,
that knows it at one point already went through the phase of not talking to me because they're kind of assholes for it. And in my opinion, I'm gonna say this now. If you get butthurt by your friends coming to you to tell you, hey, I think I'm bi, or hey, I think I'm gay, or anything like that, and you decide to ignore them, you aren't like it's fine if you
piece of
need to
shit.
process those feelings now that you but here's the thing. You gotta remember, they're telling you so they feel more comfortable around you to say shit, but they more than likely do not like you. If they're telling you they don't like you, get that through your fucking skull.
If
You
if you're
homophobic
coming out,
prick.
if you're coming out to someone that's homophobic and they don't accept you, what you can do is tell them to fuck off
Isn't
because
you if they oh wait, you're saying fuck off to homophobes. Okay, sorry. I thought you were
oh
saying
yeah,
oh hey, it's cool to be a homophobe.
fuck no, homophobic people. Why are you scared of gay people? And
Because
you
they're
better
see
not blame religion. You better not blame anything about religion
I love
or
saying that
the way
they
you were
like it
raised.
in the ass, they just don't want to accept it. And
We all
it
know
always
you
pisses
all
them off.
experienced a gay moment once in your life. We all know you
We've
looked
all
at that.
sucked in a poo.
We all know you looked at that boy Steve when you were a little
Fuck.
fucking
Alright.
homosexual, little
On to the
twink
topic of
boy.
this episode.
Anyway, speaking of bisexual, let's talk about characters that relate to you and why did you relate to them?
What the fuck? How's that relating to sexuality?
Well, that's pretty simple. Well, some characters that have experienced the same thing.
I mean,
We have
fair.
to
When
realize
I first watched Kim Possible and Teen Titans as a little kid, I was like, ooh, they're hot.
exactly. You superheroes can be sexually awakened for most people. And speaking of
Uh-huh.
which, some superheroes could be what we relate to in a way, like Spider-Man, how people relate to Peter Parker or Spider-Man as a whole. Speaking of which, what
As a broke
characters did
college
you relate?
student.
Yeah, exactly. What characters did you relate to as a kid or
I
even growing
personally always related to Peter Parker, mainly the 90s, nowadays especially, the 90s animated series, but here's the weird thing. I never related to them as much as I looked up to them because I didn't think about life that much. Like, we're going to get a
Yeah,
little dark here. I thought life was always going to be hard and shitty after the age of 7. I knew it wasn't going to be all sunshine and rainbows, but I had this hopeful optimism that everything was just going to work out until I realized what the real world was when I was 9 and played Halo Reach for the first time. But I also loved Master Chief and Anakin Skywalker, as I didn't fully understand it back then, but like you're kind of hyped up to in a way that most people aren't, because I was told if my mom more than likely couldn't have kids, otherwise her and the kid were more likely to die. Like she physically was incapable of having a kid, and somehow had me, and we both lived. So they, my mom would praise me as like the miracle child, and in turn babied me a little too much, but that made me kind of relate a lot to Anakin in a weird way, being like, oh my god, look at this powerful child. That and like I could do a little bit more weird things than what other people could. Like I had a nickname in kindergarten and first grade. I remember people called me Spider Monkey because I could use my feet like hands. Like I had such good ambidextry with my feet back then in like kindergarten and first grade that I could write with a pencil in my both feet. Hello, space, you alive?
Yeah, sorry. I was listening. I was listening. I was
Oh,
listening.
but
Listening.
yeah. What about you?
About me, what characters are related to?
Yeah.
Oh, well, there's a lot, but in my opinion, Star Lord.
You
We're gonna get deep with this one.
so space. Why don't you go into a little bit about your love for Star Lord?
My love for Star Lord. Well, it's
Why
pretty
you would
simple.
suck his dick?
No, God no.
Why are
Fuck
you
no.
fucking homophobic?
Let me explain. As a person that was growing up, I was related to Star Lord for many reasons. Many personal reasons, many convincing issues, so many issues. But I always liked him as a character.
Bro,
And
these
when
waffles
when I was watching
slap. Oh,
Volume 1 and 2, I just grew a connection to Star Lord. Not because Chris Pratt was generally a good actor, surprisingly, but that Star Lord could have been is such a, in my opinion, a perfectly written character. I really understand
oh,
what he felt.
yeah.
I I too never grew up with a dad.
Mine just starting to kill me.
It was the first time. It was the first time. I had a father figure, and but it was mostly because of my brother. I never really grew up with dad when I got older because my dad was deported, and I felt a connection with Star Lord where he generally didn't have a connection or like a search of his father. I was kind of like me at a point when I was younger. So then
Yeah.
when I got older, I got a connection with my dad and realized that you know you're just gonna find different pieces in life to find that connection, and that's what it is with Star Lord and Yondu.
Yeah.
It was like that. Yondu was the father figure, yeah, but it was technically his, not even biologically, his dad, but he was technically the real of a real father that's Peter Quill could ever had, and he found a connection with him with music with Yondu. Technically, it was not really with music, but what I'm gonna explain is that during Volume 2, Yondu kept a Zune for Star Lord whenever he comes back to the Ravagers,
How the
and
fuck
he
did he
kept him
get
with
that?
him.
Like Peter
Well,
Quill left with a backpack. What did those bitches go back to Earth at some point and take more shit?
to be honest, it's because the Ravagers likes to steal shit, and a lot of aliens like to go around to steal shit. So they probably just stole a bunch of like Zunes.
Yeah, but that means
Everybody.
a whole bunch of aliens were on Earth around the same time period, around the time of Captain Marvel, which I'm sorry, but that a little bit of MCU bullshit there. Like, how the fuck are you gonna have Sword in the MCU? The people that watch over that shit and just go, oh yeah, they also stole like a metric ton of stuff, and Yondu goes to Earth, takes shit, and never mentions it or thinks, oh, I should take Quill there sometime.
I don't even think it's Yondu that did it. I think he just found it or bought it off of someone that went to Earth to steal shit.
Yeah,
Because
but
remember,
like,
there's multiple Ravagers, clans and stuff.
yeah, but they hated Yondu.
They hated Yondu, but remember, this is set in 2017, and the reason why they hated Yondu was because he kept fucking
Yeah,
Peter Quill.
yeah. So,
But his
but it just
teams
doesn't make
could,
sense.
but his team could have easily gotten it. Like Nick probably could have bought it off someone. There's a lot of who knows. We gotta wait till James Gunn talk about that. We gotta
I
wait
don't
till
think he's
James.
ever gonna talk about it ever again. So I mean, to me, it's a small plot hole.
It's a small plot hole, but who cares, man? It's what makes the scene beautiful. Because generally, Yondu thought of Peter, even though he kind of hated Peter. Not hated, just like mad at him. But then he got over it
I wouldn't
after
even
it.
say he was mad at him. It, the weird thing about Yondu was I always felt like he put on that "I hate you" or "Oh my god" shit to Peter just
He
because he
did.
didn't know how to parent him.
Yeah, he didn't. That was the entire
And
point.
but like at some point he just said, I have to keep this tough guy up act up for my men."
Yeah.
Yeah.
The thing is, what I really appreciate is that Volume 2 really gave Peter that full character development. Not really full character development, but a development that he could be the father that he wanted to be with Groot.
Yeah.
Because remember, he did raise Groot. And that's what I
He
think
did?
what makes that movie so beautiful is at the end of Volume 2, the movie ends with Father and Son by Cat Stevens. And I think it's such a perfect song that ends that entire film because it literally is the entire point of Star Lord and his daddy issues, and him basically now becoming the father figure to Groot, and it's beautiful in my opinion. It generally is such a fucking beautiful work, and I feel that relations where when you get older, you just have to be the father figure for someone at one point, even though you may or may not been raised by one.
Yeah.
You still now know what to do. I think that's
I
what makes it beautiful.
I feel that. Like I've never had to be a father figure, but I definitely had to be an older brother figure for a few people at times.
Yeah,
Which here's the thing, like I grew up there's a point in my life where I stopped consuming media as much. Like it's weird. When I was growing up, we'll say up till about I don't know the year. I was in like third grade, third through fifth. I stopped playing video games. I stopped watching TV as much. Like I would like watch some because I'm still growing up. But at this point, I was playing M-rated, T-rated games like Call of Duty and Halo all the time, watching creepypastas. So I mainly watched YouTube, and but I definitely loved Bugs Bunny growing up. And Bugs Bunny taught me something very important. As long as you have a smile on your face, you can get past anything. And you have to be smarter than the person or those or you got to learn how to be cunning and not show fear. It's weird because Bugs Bunny gets shot at all the time, and dude always or like he rarely fully lets them have the emotional advantage.
yeah,
And a little bit TMI, but in my opinion here, but I got into a lot of fights with people that some people don't know about because I never really talked about, but like at school I would get in some fights, mainly like arguments or like yelling fights, like occasionally fist fights, but it was super weird. And one dude, he was like trying to start stuff. He wanted me to throw the first punch, and I mean, Space, you've come to know me at this point. I already told you, but I don't give people that emotional bit when I'm in an argument or a fight with them, unless it's like, all right, this is the only way or it's supposed to be an emotional conversation. Like, I need to let myself be like that around them since I'm not. being a stone cold wall or a joke machine isn't appropriate in that moment. But like, I'm gonna take the piss out of everything because I don't see a point in getting worked up anymore.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
like then 2013 Battle of Gods, and I think it was 2015 or whenever Xenoverse 1 came out, I got really into Dragon Ball and I fell in love with it. I plan on getting a Dragon Ball tattoo soon, even. But the character of Goku is so interesting to me. Just because, like, think about this. He lives for himself, but fights to protect those he loves. Like, a lot of people think Goku's stupid, but he lets his instincts guide him more than anything. And that taught me to made me subconsciously do the same because like I moved to where I am now based off my instincts telling me I need to do this and I did it, which probably wasn't smart, but you know what, hey, fuck it. Or hey, you should stay home tonight just because something doesn't feel right. And I did that, and what you know, there was gunshots on my street on a Halloween, so there's that.
Yeah,
So it's so interesting. Like, and then you get Nightwing. I watched the 2003 the Batman cartoon growing up and Teen Titans. Dude, I love Robin. I love Dick Grayson's Robin more specifically. I've grown on Damian Wayne and I love Red Hood. Tim Drake can go fuck himself. He is my least favorite Robin. But
yeah,
each one of them kind of impacted me differently in weird ways. Like my first cosplay was Red Hood, then and my most recent is Nightwing. So it's like kind of went full circle if you think about it. When I was a moody early 20 something or 19 going on to 20 or I was yeah, I made my first Red Hood cosplay. And now here I am turning 23 soon. As of recording this, it's like a week off. Uh and I now have a Nightwing cosplay.
yeah,
So it's kind of cool to think about like how full circle this all went, you know?
yeah,
But the also I don't think the characters themselves ever impacted me. I think more of their message of the show gave me an idea and helped re-guide me as to who I need to be on like and want to be. Like Gurren Lagann I've talked and gushed about many a time. But that show is all about moving forward and evolving and not letting anything stop you from what you want. Like that's just like boiling it down and simplifying it to all hell and even cutting out a lot because that show has a lot that not anyone or not a lot of people talk about and it's not easy to watch anymore sadly, especially the dub. It's hands down the best dub, best anime, probably I think confidently I can say it's my favorite anime, but Dragon Ball will always hold that number one spot, you know. But like dude, it's so weird, you know. Like
yeah,
it, the I don't have time to sit and watch shows anymore, so I got figures, I got tons of stuff to represent those, and I can look at those and it gives me the memories and the feeling of when I watched them, and it's like, oh my god. But I won't lie, there are genuinely times where I'm like, I want to sit down and watch it. Oh fuck, I have a school assignment due in 20 minutes, and I have to run to my PC and bust out an hour's worth of school in 15. That's happened before. That happened on this podcast, and I didn't even say anything.
oh god.
Dude, it's insane. There's literally because there a lot of shows are all about getting back up, evolving, being a better person, and discovering yourself. But I like the characters where it's more than not even those messages. I like the reason I love Spider-Man and I love Captain America is it's be true to yourself and it's okay to be yourself. Like Spider-Man, he is down on his luck all the time. No one gets him. No one actually listens to him. The world is against him, but it's not at the same time. It's really him thinking it is, which we've all been there. Like he was designed to be the most or a super relatable character, and I think almost every adaptation apart from Tom Holland's has gotten that. You know, like take the superpowers and replace them with your hobby or your passion, you know? And boom, you literally just put yourself in the exact same shoes as Spider-Man. I'm a broke college student with that can't find a job and spends the rest of my time creating stuff, working to create stuff, doing schoolwork, and hitting the gym to destroy my body, which I also need to start doing more of the destroying. My elbow fucked up. I'm an idiot. But like and then Captain America, it's like hold true to your own ideals. You are only as strong as your ideals. And you have to be stronger than your own ideals and be willing to change them. Like Space, what would you say an ideal is? Like one of your ideals, if you know what I mean.
What do you mean?
Well, like Captain America,
Captain America.
or we'll use Optimus Prime because his is literally one of the things he says. Freedom is the right of all sentient beings. That is something he believes in. That is an ideal of his.
Yeah.
What's one for you? Would you say?
One for me, I would have to say, fuck, maybe I would not say Iron Man because he's an alcoholic.
Well, no,
I
like
would
one
have
of your
to
own
say,
personal ones.
oh, personal ones.
Yeah.
For me, I think Star Lord is the hope of not giving up.
Yeah. Because like I, it's so weird. Captain America taught me like Chris Evans Captain America. There's a reason why I love Captain America. Chris Evans' portrayal in Earth's Mightiest Heroes. He kept to who he was and what he believed in, but he didn't change it or he didn't discriminate others for theirs. Like he was a still good person to everyone, even if they disagreed. Like he valued people no matter what. Madam Hydra. There's an episode during the Secret Invasion uh, arc, which by the way is so goddamn good, which I think kind of paved the way for Secret Empire down the line. But that's not the point. I think that's so telling, where he goes back to save her life and is ready to sacrifice himself. And she's a Hydra agent. Yeah, they're all captive, but he could have just left. But that's not what Captain America does. No, he doesn't care if you're a Nazi as long as you are in trouble and you are about to die fighting for not even like if it's he will protect your life. He doesn't want you to die. He wants you to do better, but then there's some portrayals where yeah, he will let you die and that's fair. It's war.
Yeah.
But that was a kids show and you can't really kill someone, but no matter what, pretty much every Captain America would go back to try and save her unless someone physically stopped him. I mean, take for the first Avenger movie. He jumped out of the fucking Quinjet and down to tell people, or Loki, no. And then did it again to fight Thor and Iron Man.
That man really likes jumping out of planes.
I don't think he wants to be in a plane after that motherfucker spent 70 years in the ice caps after crashing one. Like, think about that. He'd
They
be the
really
first
should be banned.
9/11.
They're sending this fucking man to planes after crashing himself into a plane.
I genuinely don't think Captain America ever wants to be on a plane again. I mean, the helicarrier, I bet he was just like anxious on because he's like, this bitch is gonna crash. I just know it. If it's in the air, it's crashing. Thank God no one told him about 9/11. He'd be like, fucking planes. We
Hey,
see Captain
plane!
America throwing his shield at every plane he sees. How about the plane? Oh man. Yeah,
Planes.
it's so interesting how like characters impact us, you know?
Exactly. Speaking of planes, why the fuck does Spider-Man need a plane?
Um, you know, fuck you, that's why.
Why does Captain Marvel need a plane?
Because Captain Marvel was a pilot at one point, and
No.
if we're talking about the MCU version of Carol Danvers, because she's a fucking roid head bitch with a penis
Okay,
in her
buddy.
asshole.
Okay, buddy. What the fuck? I was
I
talking about the
hate it.
Lego stuff.
Oh, because Lego likes mechs and planes and giving vehicles to superheroes that don't need it for no fucking reason, like Captain America. Why does Darth Vader need a mech? Why does a Stormtrooper need a mech? Actually, that's kind of cool. I won't lie. The Stormtrooper mech is cool. The other two suck. The
Boba
X-Wing
Fett
one
back
could
here.
have been cool, but then it's a $10 way to get a minifigure that you might really want. That's the only good upside to it. But otherwise, Lego, do me a favor, fuck off.
You know
Unless you
what's
want to
worse?
sponsor me.
You know what's worse than that? You know what's worse than that? Spider-Man having the most random fucking vehicles of all time.
He has had more spider caves than we have gotten in bat caves.
He has the most randomest set of vehicles of all time. He has a motorcycle, a plane jet, a fucking dinosaur.
Do you want me to
Um,
break it to you, Space?
yeah,
He's had all
I
those in
know.
the comics.
I know.
And what's worse is the spider buggy got stolen. He wrecked it. It got stolen multiple times, and it was a sponsorship deal. So comics
That's
are weird,
actually
dude.
funny as shit.
That's why I have my
The
spider buggy.
fucking spider buggy getting robbed at 3 in the morning.
No, really. I mean, hey, Jason Todd stole the tires off the Batmobile when he was like 10.
Imagine if Batman, absolute Batman, sees that.
Dude, Absolute Batman's a fucking menace. Do you plan
Dude,
on reading the book out of curiosity?
I'll read it. I'll read it afterwards.
Okay, then I won't spoil what happens.
If you're gonna tell me that he blows some guy's fucking,
He does not kill.
arm,
He does not
he
kill.
does not kill, but he does fuck up people. I know he chopped off someone's arms off. Apparently,
Oh yeah, no, that was in the preview, but no, he does something that's super metal that I am just like, goddamn, like literally, I'm reading it and my jaw physically dropped while I was reading it.
let's check it out.
I
So
I'm so excited to go read Absolute Batman #2. Here's something interesting. I did not like Batman growing up. I was such a D1 Batman hater.
of course you were.
I do not. It's until recently that I actually kind of like Batman, but only in the comics. In the 2003 The Batman the Animated Series was cool and all, but I was there for Robin.
I was a big Bat. I'm a big Batman nerd. I never really hated any super. Actually, that's a lie. I kind of hated one superhero, and I can't believe I'm gonna say it, but I really fucking hated.
Huh?
So that's why I hate them. It's fucking crazy. I know.
You
Anyways,
didn't. No, you didn't even say their name.
what are you talking about? Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
No, you didn't.
I just explained why I hated that character.
Then you cut it out.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did because you go.
I,
Why I really hate nothing.
yeah, I said I really hate this character because
What character?
what are you
Swear to
talking
God.
about? I've been fucking telling you the character.
Okay, say the character's name right now.
Okay, I will. So the character name is.
I'm gonna kill you, Space. Because you know what you're doing. God damn it.
Why I don't fucking understand?
Because you're cutting out. Only when you say the character name.
I'm fucking telling you to catch his name. It's literally.
I'm gonna kill you.
What are you talking about?
You have to be fucking with me at this point.
What are you talking about, man? What the fuck?
Let me guess, is it Superman?
Hello.
Okay, then
I
text
said
me
his
who the
fucking name.
character is so I
I
can.
said its name. It's literally fucking. And that's why I hate them.
You're doing this on purpose, I swear to God.
I'm not. I be telling you the name. I don't know why it's cutting out.
I hate you.
It's okay, buddy.
But you know who I hated growing up? Like, I
Who
did
you
not
hated?
like Batman. I didn't like Batman that much, but I still enjoyed watching the cartoons. But I did not like Superman. Like, oh my God, I hated Superman. I genuinely dislike Superman. I prayed for Doomsday to kill him.
See, that's the thing. That's you grew up with Marvel, you grew up with DC, you grew up with whatever, but you should have just shut the fuck. Not
Christ. I genuinely just did not like Superman growing up, and this is coming from someone that actually kinda is excited for James Gunn's Superman. It's weird. I feel like the last few years, I don't know. Some media has me liking some portrayals of Superman, but I have a really weird view of Superman. I think he's boring and uninspired. You know?
Yeah, yeah, no, I can't say yeah because I love Superman and I love DC. I love Detective Comics more than I love Marvel at
Bro,
times.
I hate how we say DC Comics because then it's Detective Comics.
Yeah, that's why I just say DC itself because it's literally just DC.
Like, there's this guy I knew. I'm not kidding. He was a. I mean, when I say new, I like had a few interactions with him. That's it. He had a DC tattoo. It was of I don't know. I think it was Batman or some shit. But it said DC Comics up in the top right corner. I was like, you are genuinely dumb. You have to have -1 brain cells. That's Detective Comics. And he goes, no, DC doesn't stand for anything. Because I asked him, oh, hey, it's what DC stands for, right? He goes, yeah, DC. I was like, no, it stands for something. We got in a whole discussion about it. I was like, you are fucking dumb. Like, mate, do you not realize DC means Detective Comics, like the original name of DC before they abbreviated it? You dumb motherfucker!
The thing is, DC itself literally renamed itself DC Comics in 2012 during 2016.
I mean, yeah, and then, but people have been calling it DC Comics before that too.
Yeah,
Like,
even though Detective Comics.
hands down, here's something though that not a lot of people will talk about: Transformers and Power Rangers when it comes to or personal impact.
Oh God, don't remind me of this.
Okay, listen, Space. I want to talk about Transformers, and you got your Power Ranger rant. I need to go on a tiny rant about Transformers, but I want to hear
Okay,
your
good.
beautiful, luscious voice while I take a sip of or open this drink up and have some.
You want me to yap
Yap.
about Power Rangers?
How about this? You just yap until uh just yap about a character.
I'll
Go
yap
ham.
about Star Lord. Let me finish off Star Lord. The reason why, okay, let's go back to the topic. I love Star Lord. I love Star Lord as a whole because his character of literally is meant to be human. Like it's such a humanization character that not a lot of superheroes actually deal with,
Where did I put my
especially
phone?
with their superhero shit and stuff. Star Lord alone is very emotional, distraught person. He is very emotional. He doesn't show it, but he is generally an emotional person. And that's what I really love about him is that he cares about people that he truly loves and he will do anything for them. And a lot of people, let me get this started. this is a bit controversial, but what Star-Lord did to Thanos is literally a part of his character.
It's so human.
It's so human of him, literally. And that's the thing. Are you guys fucking not realizing that, Star Lord is generally character is meant to be one of us? He's a normal human being who happens to have space technology. He's literally a fucking regular human being. Star Lord was literally written to be such a basically one of us. He loves music. He has a deep connection with old music and his family. And the thing is, not a lot of people realize, but he's also bisexual.
Wait, what?
Star Lord is bisexual.
Huh.
Yeah, Star Lord is a bi king.
I wouldn't say Viking. I'd say more like a.
I do not know if they kept it in the movies
Probably not.
because he was mostly in love with Gamora.
I
But
can
yeah,
say this. I don't think a character's sexuality should ever play majorly into. It's small, right? Character sexuality should never be a super big detail. It should just be a tiny, if footnote, like a 1 sentence footnote, and that's it.
the
So
thing is,
writers, learn how to fucking write gay characters, queer characters, or just don't fucking write them.
with Star Lord, I think, in my opinion, I think it should be part of his character because it shows that he's actually human
Well,
and not a fucking
then you
you
got
know
Deadpool that's ace
pansexual.
or pan, yeah. And here's the
Ace
thing:
is
Deadpool inherently outside of the MCU is not that sexual of a character. Like he does not do it as often as people think, especially during the runs where it got really popularized, and that pisses me off. As someone that is not the
the only
biggest
guys
Deadpool fan.
the only thing people thought of Deadpool sexually was because of the video game. They made him
No, no,
very
no, no, not even that.
not
It was before that. Only reason I know that is because I had Marvel like I used to not be the biggest Marvel guy. I used to not know much about pop culture or anything. And then when I had no friends in middle school into high school, that's where it kind of kicked off. So you can blame me
yeah.
being a loner for a few years and whatnot, and my horrible mental health for a lot of this. So yeah, but he was like, yeah, no, I just don't get why people sexualize or think all this about Deadpool. And then I went back and researched it, read comics and all this, and yeah, no, it's fucking weird.
The thing is, Deadpool, yeah, he'll make some dirty jokes, but that's about it.
He doesn't even make that many dirty jokes, especially in more recent comics. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, dude gets his freak on. He fucked Dracula's wife and married her. He has a daughter, and
he
like
has a type. He has a type in death.
he it like yeah, he does get his freak on, but it's never such a major part of his character. It's usually just a passing comment or like very human-esque. I like to actually think of, or a good comparison is MCU Star-Lord, or I guess Star-Lord in a way. It's a footnote. It is there and casual. It's very human. You know, Deadpool's very human in the comics.
Yeah,
And for some reason, I feel like he's the most human out of almost all comics, just for how he's written. Dude does not give a fuck. He's tired. He's over it. He acts like how we would if we were in his shoes, apart from the cancer. Dude literally looks like a melted scrote. You know?
yeah.
Sorry I interrupted your rant about Star Lord against space.
That's it. A lot of people do not realize that Star Lord in the comics is very much different than Star Lord in the movie. Um,
Dude fucked
and
Kitty
that
Pryde.
generally, oh yeah, he fucked Kitty Pryde. He did indeed.
And
A
Tony
lot.
Stark got with Gamora.
What happened?
Gamora and Tony Stark hooked up.
Uh, Tony
Yeah.
Stark fucked everyone.
Tony Stark fucked a lot of people.
He
But
fucked a
here's the
lot.
weird thing. The sex life in Marvel is the strangest thing ever. Minor tangent, minor tangent. If you didn't know, um, Namor and Sue Storm, Reed Richards' wife, have had an affair with each other. And by the way, Namor is with Storm, who has also cheated with on Namor. She's also been with Black Panther numerous times and in different continuities. also multiple times divorced, but or even just retconned out of existence. Then you got MJ, who's a different can of worms. Then you got fucking Felicia Hardy. Then you got all of Spider-Man's love interests at one point. By the way, Spider-Man has been cut or like cheated on. I don't know how many times, and dude has never cheated. Let that sink in. So boys, if your girl cheats on you more than once, don't take her back. But if you cheat, oh, even if you talk to another woman, you're fucked just because you decided to say hi or compliment someone outside of your own gender.
Yep.
So yeah,
I like to point out that Star Lord had a poly relationship in the comics.
huh? I keep forgetting
Very
every now and again you read the comics.
me.
Yeah,
Why? How's that shocking?
I just forget
Okay,
because
so basically, he had a relationship with Carlton Holland slash ship.
he
Yeah,
had
so
sex
he
with a
had
ship.
multiple. Sort of had multiple about the comics, by the way.
What the fuck?
I guess Nebula. He tries to go with Nebula at one point.
I
Um,
mean, hey,
yeah,
and comic
those things.
Nebula. Do you blame him?
Yeah, I don't blame him. Uh, but also
Bitch wielded
in
the
the Old
Infinity
Man
Gauntlet.
Quill series, he meets a woman. He meets a woman named Lisa Quill. Yeah, Gomora's most of the most known one. Katie Pryde is also a pretty well known one.
Let
And then there's also Polly's relationship, Morris and Artha.
shout out to
Arda.
Peter or Katie Pride only going with Peters in every continuity.
She well,
She has a
well,
type, dude.
Lection
She likes that double
let's not go
P
with let's not go with let's not talk about the Kitty Pride and the
ultimates.
um Colossus relationship. Yeah.
See,
Let's
that's
not
just
talk about the
fucked,
ultimate.
dude. Like, she should be dead. But
Let's not talk about
yeah, no. Let's instead let's
let's
talk
just
about.
skip over the comic.
I,
Let's skip over the ultimate as a whole. We should
well, the
never
Ultimate
talk
Comics
about
still
ultimate.
had interesting stories, especially like that was a lot of people's introduction to modern comics, and where a lot more
Let's
movies
not
got
let's
based off
let's
of.
not get into it because they did not cook with some of the characters.
No, no, they just cooked them and ate them.
They did exactly.
Isn't it weird how
Yeah,
no one really talks about that anymore? And we're now that the Ultimate Universe is back and it's not even the same Ultimate Universe, and it's kind of like, you know,
Marvel trying
uh,
to get rid
hmm.
of all the allegations they had against the characters.
Well, here's the weirdest part. They already brought back the Ultimate Universe once, and I think they killed it off again twice. So this is like the fourth round for them. Because the initial death happened, I think, during Secret Wars 2, where with Lord Doom, and then the second time happened shortly after that because Peter Parker came back from the Ultimate Universe or something like that. I don't remember. Because Miles had to give
I
back
mean,
his web shooters to Spider-Man, and then or to Peter Parker, who came back from the dead. Same with Norman Osborn, and then him and Mary Jane ran away together after they solved a small thing, faking their deaths. Which then that universe ended, and if I remember right, no, this is the third time they've come back because that universe just kind of died. I don't even remember how.
I'm gonna admit it. I'm gonna admit it. The comics are so fucking confusing.
Well,
That's so
yeah,
confusing. I love comics and all. I love reading them, but I fucking hate learning the lore behind certain characters because then it gets retconned, it gets removed, it gets deleted, it gets changed.
I
The
love
MCU
it.
ruined it. It's so confusing. I'm just like, okay, bitches, get your shit together.
It's
I'm
only a
not
matter of time
fixing.
before the MCU does the same.
They already did. They retconned a lot of things. They already changed a lot of things. The MCU is already fucking getting fucked over.
You hear that
Uh,
Secret Wars is probably gonna reset the entire universe?
I hope fucking so, man. Cause holy shit, what
Well,
are
you know what
they
that do
after?
to the Guardians, right?
I know. I'll go right up here.
Well, no, Chris Pratt said he still wants to do it, and he's already set to
Hopefully,
return.
he says he wants to do it only if James Gunn gives his blessing.
I mean, James Gunn probably would. Here's the weird thing about some of that. In my personal opinion, a lot of these actors, they'll say shit like that. Yeah, I can see uh, Chris Pratt only wanting to do it if James Gunn was like, "Yeah, just do it, dude," or was working on it. But I don't think James or Star Lord will be part of the Guardians ever again.
No, no, that's because he's doing his own things now. That's literally. I wish they did the series. I hope they did a series. Star Lord himself is literally just trying to live a normal human life after Volume 3. After all, he literally gave the Guardians to Rocket because Star Lord realized that he wasn't meant to be suited for a leader, but Rocket was.
To me, that is still probably the dumbest part of Guardians 2 or 3. I mean,
What?
I yeah, I have one reason to say that, Space.
Tell me.
Rocket always felt like he wanted to be the leader more than Quill, right? And I always thought they'd be better off leading two different teams because Quill needed someone there to hold him back. And now that he's by himself, I don't feel like he's went through that arc fully of being able to do stuff solo. We've
That's the
never seen Star-Lord be able to handle himself alone,
that's that's the thing. That is
which
because after Volume 2 and Volume 2, the difference is that Star Lord, yes, he got so used to his family, he got so used to Gamora with him that he generally forgot how to be an independent person.
I think they should have shown that he needed to be by himself, not just like forced it on him in a way, you know?
Yeah, but the thing is, you got to understand that basically the films were kind of building up for Rocket to be suited for a leader
I
towards the
don't
end
even think
because
he was because he always seemed reluctant and just did it a lot of out of
he was
spite.
just really, and that's literally the entire point. It's meant to be character development for the entire characters. All of them had to go their own different ways for the end of Volume 3 because they've been basically such like really close to each other by that point. And by the end of literally Rocket literally helped out Tony Stark how to get back the to go back in time because he genuinely misses his family. Groot, fucking Gamora,
I mean,
Drax, and fucking Mantis all were dusted away, and he was basically alone.
I just think it would have been better off if Star Lord and Rocket didn't get or were or Star Lord wasn't dusted. I think that would have helped sell Peter having to grip on to them during Volume 3. Because here's the
The
thing.
thing,
It never sunk into me. Like, I like Volume 3, do not get me wrong. But by Star Lord just going, alright, this is your shtick now, Rocket, have fun. To me, that just kind of ruined a little bit of the dynamic, and Peter no longer wanting it. It felt like he was doing it mainly because he just felt hurt too often because of it and wanted to see how he would do alone and blamed himself too much for the others leaving or like others' unhappiness. And a lot of it just didn't feel fully earned, in my opinion.
the thing is, you gotta realize is that Star Lord has been through a lot in the films, as he lost his mother, Yondu, and then he found out his father killed his mother, and then him losing basically the love of his life, Gamora. You gotta understand that basically him, yeah, blaming himself is a part of us as humans. We blame ourselves for who we are, but we become so codependent of everyone that we forget how to be independent of ourselves, and we forget who we truly are. The thing
Yeah.
is, Star Lord leaving the Guardians is literally everyone going their own separate ways because they're learning how to be independent, while Rocket is learning how to become a team leader that he finally always wanted to be. The thing was the reason why Star Lord gave him the music, the music credit, tell him this like, you're now the leader of the Guardians. I'm gonna go do my own shit now. You take care, buddy. And I think that's what I think it's perfect that way because yes, they were a family, but at the end of the day, even family has to grow apart to learn how to better themselves. Drax literally the entire point was that he first we'd only known him as a dumbhead, but he was a stone-hearted killer. But by the end of Volume 3, he's finally found a purpose where he's meant to be a father figure for a bunch of for a bunch of kids.
And yeah, but like
Mantis.
it just didn't feel like he. A lot of it didn't feel fully earned. You know, it didn't feel like he was built up throughout the movie. Plus,
And
here's the one thing I will die on this hill: Drax should have died.
Jack should have died.
Yes.
You're kind of right, but I think I like the way they went with that direction,
Well,
where
like that
Jack.
way we could have kept Drax and done like the rebirth thing that they did in the comics. Because I mean, come on, Drax the Destroyer is such a cool concept. I don't know. I feel like if they killed Drax in 3, or I think 3 would have been the perfect time to kill Drax. Uh, and what you do is you kill him off, but that's where they reveal he has, or they kill him off in a unique way, maybe Adam Warlock, but all the energy from Adam Warlock or something uh, causes him to go through a metamorphosis in some way and turns into the second iteration of Drax, where we could get like a recast. So we still get Drax, just Dave Bautista's out.
The thing is that Drax was meant to be was meant to end happily. That's the thing with Volume 3 is that a lot of people like to talk about the ending and saying, I did not feel well. In my opinion, I really liked it because it generally made sense in a way because all the characters becoming instead of codependent, they all finally becoming themselves, becoming their own people. Gamora staying with the Ravagers, Drax becoming a father figure, Mantis literally going on her own adventures, Star Lord going back to his roots, and finally going back to Earth, and basically it's literally grieving for him at this point. He's finally let go of his grief, and he wants to now accept that who he really is as a person. Because remember, he lost Gomorrah. He's now, and now that she's back as her 2014 form, she tells him, like, look, things are different now. I'm the one person you fell in love with. It's not me, but
See,
it's okay.
I
And
just
that's
don't
the thing.
like it, how it's too much of a happy ending. And that's
I
what
really,
I don't like, is where it's all just like too happy. There was no real like it was in my opinion, a good story ends on a happy ending, but with a bit of a because when everyone gets a happy ending, I'm sorry, to me that doesn't feel satisfying. You know, like you could have easily had maybe Star Lord say he needs to be alone to heal more and not have him. That if we cut the scene of him going back to Earth and that is like the ending to his series, I think that would have been better. I think that would have at least fixed it because it felt like his resolution was too rushed. He didn't feel fully realized, especially Rocket and Groot. Like I don't know. I like the series. Do not get me wrong, but there's always bits of improvement that they could have done.
you do gotta
And
realize that the Volume 3 was generally changed a lot because of the Infinity War, what they did. Because
well,
James Gunn
yeah,
was not expecting to kill Gamora to get killed off, and he already confirmed that if they didn't did that with Infinity War, he would have Volume 3 would have been much different. He was working what he had left. And basically, what he did was generally, in my opinion, perfect. It generally ended the series perfectly. There is some inconsistency, like whatever happened to the original Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like, what the fuck? Whatever happened to, the post-credit scenes in Volume 2? Like, all that shit. But the thing is, it ends perfectly. Like, literally every character
I can say
has their
that though.
arcs kind of finished. Besides Star-Lord's arc is not really finished,
It felt
but
like
Rocket,
they tried to finish it with that scene though. And then
they
you
tried
also get
to
Adam
do
Warlock.
more.
Don't get me even started on Adam Warlock.
Okay, they started to. Well, technically, they're still gonna do more.
Yeah,
I
but he
don't
is
know
not Adam Warlock. He's Adam Warcock.
if they're gonna do more with Venom Warlock.
Adam
Apparently, I
Warlock
don't.
though in the MCU is ass. I'm sorry, but that is the worst character in all of MCU. Like worst handled, worst everything. Worst
You realize he's still a
design.
baby. And that point,
Yeah, he
he's still
shouldn't
a
be a
baby.
baby. He needs to be he should have been a rival to Thanos.
The
He
thing is,
literally
he's still.
had an Infinity Stone in his fucking head.
But remember, Vision took that fucking place. Who do we blame? We
Vision
blame.
still has could have or they both could have had it at some point. Adam Warlock was supposed to have the soul gem. And then they changed that, yes. But here's the thing, his design is trash, and they really and truly just put him in to have him in. It could have been like he's an actual threat. They could have had him be an ancient being. Why make him a baby? Like, you know, that just is stupid. He's supposed to be this ancient being, a mystical being of just bad assery, of cosmic proportions, a rival to Thanos, someone that could match him in power. He's
Adam
not
Warlock.
Adam Warlock. He's Adam War bitch.
Well, Adam Warlock was created by a group of Earth scientists called the Enclave. And the thing is, Adam Warlock in this was literally created by, in the movies, was created by the fucking evolutionary. And the reason why they did it in the third was because he was technically meant to happen in the second film. Afterwards, he was technically meant to happen before Infinity War, but then I guess they did some shit and he
Yeah.
couldn't be able to make it. So basically, they had to save him for the third film, which was after Infinity War. Which the plan would have went through, we would have had Adam Warlock literally show up and fucking beat the shit out of Thanos at one point. But then again, the fuck did MC didn't know what to do, so I just did that shit.
Well, James
Which
Gunn could have fixed a little bit of it by having Adam Warlock not be a baby.
the thing
They could
is,
have he could have easily fixed that with one simple change. Have him be modified by the evolutionary if he wanted it, or since Adam Warlock added nothing to the plot, you don't include him. There's no reason for him to even be in the film. None. Yes, he was an inciting incident, but they could have changed it to anything else and it would not have changed the story because that's how insignificant this big major player is. And to your point that he could have came and whooped Thanos' ass, he couldn't have. He's stuck in the soul gem. So he would have to be broken free in order to fight Thanos. And even then, it is literally the most aspect. Adam Warlock is the worst adapted character in the MCU, and I will die on this hill. Like in every
the worst.
adaptation,
Earth's worst
fucking
character.
Earth's mightiest or not Earth's mightiest heroes, Superhero Squad got him more correct. How the fuck do you do that?
I'm gonna have to disagree with the worst because generally there's way more worse characters
Okay,
that
who?
had it. Ooh, She-Hulk.
She-Hulk is at least somewhat comic accurate in the sense of they got her basic character motifs down. She's an attorney related to Bruce Banner, and eventually breaks the fourth wall. Granted,
Murdoch.
it's handled shitly, but at least she still has a lot of the core elements to make her She-Hulk and not just a name.
Murdoch. Kang the Conqueror.
King of the Conqueror still at least looked close enough to his original design and had a lot more of his comic motifs. So not even just design wise. Council of Kangs, he got his ass kicked by Ant-Man, yeah. But he also had similar ideals. He killed the Avengers. I'm not saying it was handled well, but it was still better than Adam. Keep in mind, Adam Warlock is Thanos equivalent in power and is centuries old of a cosmic being. Kang the Conqueror is a time traveler which was trying to get out, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is still a shit movie, but at least he had a major presence where Adam Warlock didn't even need to be in the film. And it makes me so mad because Adam Warlock could have been so cool.
War Machine.
War Machine is still closer to comic adaptation. Hey, Colonel James Rhodes looks like War Machine, talks like War Machine, acts like him in the comics and other excess media. Air Force
Taskmaster.
pilot.
Taskmaster.
Okay, Taskmaster. Yes, I will give you Taskmaster does not look good,
Out of first.
but I'll say this: in Thunderbolts, he looks closer, or she looks closer, and also still gets the basic abilities down and power scaling.
All right.
And Taskmaster has never been that major of a player. Always been a background extra, like C-list character that a lot of people just use and like to hype up. But 9 times out of 10, he's like Deathstroke, but worse. Like they literally use him as a joke and put him in a Spider-Man cartoon for kids.
The Wasp.
The Wasp still acts like the Wasp.
I'm talking about her personality and character traits.
Okay, are you talking design-wise or what?
About design wise.
Okay,
Talking
design-wise,
about
still follows a lot of her basic motifs without straying too far. Like you can look at them side by side and see that's the Wasp, but just based off her chest logo. Adam Warlock looks more like he was designed by the Eternals team, who in turn never looked at a comic book and decided just to make pretty circles on tried to make like I will say this, the Eternals costumes look cool enough, but they are borderline trash and nowhere near comic accurate. That's the same for Adam Warlock.
a lot of these are really aren't comic accurate, to be
Well,
honest.
they're
None of
still
it are.
closer than anything. Like they're still resembling the character. Adam Warlock, I could say that is Iron Man 2099, and you can't argue with me because you would, if you were not an MCU head and had already seen it, you would believe me. But if I showed you comic Adam Warlock, you'd call bullshit
What,
on that claim
what fucking
because the motherfucker
original?
has hair, blacked out or white eyes and black all around it, wears a cape and boots.
Talk about tiny onesie, Adam Warlock.
I mean, fuck, we could even talk about this modern one where he looks more like a ancient sorcerer from the boonies, mixed with cosmic. I mean, it, the thing is, Adam Warlock's design
Yeah, I can't lie
alone
to you.
doesn't look that good.
The original Adam Warlock design with the whole fucking tiny whiteys is generally not my favorite design.
But that's the thing. They
I
could
have
have
like
done better, though. They could have taken better design cues. He looks like a Iron Man version of Vision mixed with Tony Stark's head.
I think the only design of Adam Warlock has to be when he held was it in the was the Infinity War saga in the comics. Infinity Gauntlet. When he
So,
held up his little black suit
yeah,
thingy shit.
that
That's a good design.
is a good design. You can also take his, but looking at those two designs side by side, the MCU and the comic one, they're so drastically different. It literally looks like you took Vision and Tony Stark and put them together with an Iron Man color scheme.
The reason why it's different is because of the race that he was basically born in. He was born with fuck, what's
But
their
if you're
name?
gonna
What's that
change him so much, then why not just change a different character? You didn't have to make it Adam Warlock.
you gotta realize that they didn't even, you gotta realize that fuck, I'm so tired. Fuck, I'm fuck, I'm so sleepy.
Well, like, here's the thing: if they're James Gunn does a lot of good, this is his biggest fuck up ever, hands
Begin.
down, with Adam Warlock.
I think his biggest fuck up
When it
was
comes to a character,
when it comes to the character. I don't know about
yeah,
that.
because like Adam Warlock is pretty much just goal, like an Iron Man mixed with Vision. I, you can't even tell me it's not because and not that's just based off design. If we're going off personality, like this isn't even Adam Warlock personality wise. You could have, and I'm not even a big Adam Warlock fan, but it would have been nice for, and yeah, I'm not saying one-to-one comic or even like if you're going to adapt it. Adam Warlock realistically is not that important of a character. You already did the Infinity Saga. That's great. And they've already strayed away from different characters and adapted them differently. But this could have been a completely different character because Adam Warlock still is a cool character and has a fan base. But the design is so shit and the personality is so different that there was no point in calling it Adam Warlock. And when a children's cartoon gets him right, there's a
No.
problem.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, not even the figure looks that good. And normally, like, you can look at a figure and go, okay, overall, I can see the design. Here, when looking at the Marvel Legend,
How far are we in this
we
podcast?
are. Ugh. Here, Space. We'll start our final thoughts for childhood characters. You want to go, and then I'll wrap it up.
Sorry.
All right,
Um. Oh, I'm sorry. Um.
Space. We need to stop doing this when you're so
We lost the
tired.
plot this time. We just lost the plot.
Oh well, fuck it. It's still going up.
Yeah, we're going up. All right, guys. I'm very tired. This is the this is the ippy episode at this point. I didn't get to talk about why I relate too much to Star Lord, but yeah, one
Space.
day
We'll get a
you'll
whole
find out.
episode about it.
We'll get a whole mental episode about that. All right. Good night.
Well, for my final thoughts on relating to characters, I think it's important to take cues from them because a lot of people talk about imposter syndrome, but you got to remember, uh, a lot of characters do impact people differently, and same with the stories. And it's a combination too. Like, I mean, we all compare and contrast our lives to these characters, and I think there's nothing wrong with it as long as you're not trying to be the character. That's fine.
I'm literally Star Lord. I'm little widowy Star Lord. Okay, man.
Space,
I
your
don't.
avatar literally has the MP3 player and a Ravager emblem on your headset.
I'm literally fucking Star Lord, man. Don't you pull out this syndrome shit.
Then I am
I'm
literally Nightwing because I
I'm
have a decent body
literally
and I have
I'm
his
literally
suit.
Star Lord because I'm fucking losing it, and uh I
Space,
miss my Gamora.
damn. But yeah, no, I don't be ashamed of what you're
Before
into.
before we end the shit, before we end the shit, I want to tell you that Volume One and Volume Three mirrors a scene in the franchise where it shows Star Lord looking out in nowhere with Gamora because it was the first time he felt love. But in the end of Volume Three, I mean towards the beginning, I think it's the middle where he's in the ship looking through the empty space because he's looking for Gamora, knowing that it was his only love, and he's searching for him. And ladies, if a man ain't doing that for you, then I don't know what to tell you.
Ladies, newsflash: lower your fucking expectations.
Lower your expectations. If you're dating a man that looks like he'll leave you, he probably will.
No, no, no. Because here's the thing: I have been told that before, and I would not leave someone that actually makes me happy.
That's because you're fucking Nightwing, man. You're too busy fighting crime.
I am too busy doing random shit, yes. But like, if you, when we get to the shipping episode, this will be a lot more prevalent. But at the same time, I really want you guys to know and just be happy with someone. And if you're gonna end up leaving them, or don't judge them for what they are, judge them for who they are. Don't look at what they do have and what they don't have. Look at what they are. Don't look at what they don't have. Look at what they do have, and look at what make how they feel about it.
Start writing those fanfics about us. All right,
Fuck
bye.
no, please do not. Good night.